How many of you really want to live a fairy tale life? Do you really want to live a life that you can only dream of? I know that when I ask that question, many of you are saying, heck yeah, but in reality, is that your truth? I'm Joanna M. Cameron. I'm a mental health therapist, I'm a life coach, and I empower women to be, do, and have anything that they truly desire. The biggest problem with living a dream life is you're not taking the time to identify what that dream is for you. And not only that, you think it's too late, you think you're too old, or you think you just don't have the resources. Anyone can live a fairy tale life. My shirt today says, "You're never too old to live a fairy tale life." And I want you to understand that if a fairy tale life is what you want to live, then you can have it. The first thing that you have to do is identify, what is your fairy tale life? What does that look like for you? I just went on an amazing trip, 7 days in Africa. While I was there, the whole time I'm just basking in the fact that I'm really in Africa. And it was something that I'd only envisioned in my mind. But that's where it starts. I envisioned being able to travel the world and to explore and go to all the places that I never thought I could actually go to. Africa actually wasn't on my vision board. Sometimes visions or dreams, things that we want to happen in our life don't come to us until later. It may not actually be on your vision board. And if you don't have a vision board, you know me, get a vision board. Even though Africa wasn't on there, it started becoming a regular thought that I started to have. And I made it happen. So while I was in Africa, back to that, I was just sitting there and thinking, this is real. This is my real life. This is my fairy tale life. And sometimes we don't realize that we're living a fairy tale life until someone says something to you that makes you realize how extraordinary some of the things that you're doing actually are. And that's one of the downfalls of manifesting so many different things. When you get the thing, sometimes you actually forget to realize how special that thing is. People are posting and leaving comments on your pictures or your videos of things that you've done, and you start to realize how extraordinary the things that you're experiencing really are. That's one of the reminders. That's one of the things that helps you remember that this is pretty freaking cool. And you have to remember to do that on your own, aside from other people posting and reminding you of how amazing your life actually is. But looking on the outside in, we always think that somebody else's fairy tale life is more amazing than the one we're actually living. And we have to stop doing that. So the one thing that I want you to do is to just look at where you are and identify what in your life is actually amazing and what in your life needs improvement, and what in your life you just need to get rid of. I want you to not only look at those things, but I want you to write those things down. Because if you write them down, that's going to make it more real. You'll get a big picture view of what you like, what you don't like, what's okay, and what you just don't want in your life anymore. And when you do that, that's going to help you identify, okay, what do I have room for now? We're always wanting more and more things based on what we see other people doing most of the time, or based on, maybe something that we might have experienced and got a little taste of it and we realize we like it. But how often are you cleaning out the space to make sure you have room to receive the things you think or you say you want? So take a good look at what you have now. That's what I want you to do. Number one, I want you to write it down. Write down the things that you have, that you love, that you don't like, that you want to get rid of. And then you can start getting a clear picture of what you want to add to your life. The hardest part about manifesting is you're not being clear on what you want. You're not identifying I mean, down to the very last detail, the thing that you want in your life. Like I said, going to Africa wasn't actually something that I had on my vision board. It wasn't something that I'd been thinking about. But when I did start thinking about it, it was actually a friend who said, "Why don't you go to Africa?" And I was like, you know what? I did at one point want to go to Africa, but I kind of had forgotten about it. So then I started thinking about it and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many cool things that I'd really like to experience there. And I started thinking about it and the snowball effect started taking place. And I had room in my life for it to happen. That's what I need you to do. I need you to clear out the things that are holding space for other things to roll their way into your life. Once you do that, you'll be able to manifest more things. You have to get out of the habit of just asking for random things because we see someone else with it. You traveling may not be your thing. That's my thing. That's like my biggest thing. Clothes aren't my thing. Having a bunch of cars and private jets and boats, those things aren't my thing. At least right now they're not. But travel is, and good food are definitely at the top of my list. Going to Africa, the biggest thing about that for me was I'm going to Africa. Like, that's number one. And then the second biggest thing about going to Africa was I get to try new things. I get to eat new things. I get to explore new places to go and drink good wine because they have some of the most amazing wineries there. So those are the type things that were on the top of my list. So when you're in the process of manifesting your fairy tale life, things that you want in your life, because again, you're never too old. I don't care how old you get, as long as you're breathing, you can manifest anything you want in your life. So I started thinking about things that were important to me. I listened to what other people had done and some of their experiences, but I checked off the things, like totally got rid of the things that weren't important to me. Many people I talked to, when I told them I was going to South Africa, they made all these suggestions about going to the top of this mountain and skydiving on a clear day. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. So I had to find things that were specific to what I like. Stop finding things to manifest, or stop asking for things that aren't relevant to who you are as a person, things that you truly enjoy. That's the biggest no-no. That's number two. If you stop doing that, you'll realize, okay, the things I actually want to manifest are doable. They are things that I feel like I can manifest. You're sitting there asking the universe for $1 million when you don't even want to live $1 million life. You don't necessarily have anything that you want to do with $1 million. And if you're asking for tons and tons of money, identify what you're going to do with that money. So it's like me saying I want to go to Africa. What do I want to go to Africa for? Well, I wanted to go for the wine. I wanted to go for the penguin experience, which was amazing. I wanted to go try some new foods, which I did. I ate ostrich and antelope and caterpillars. Were those things on my list? No, but new food experiences were. So if you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, identify what you want to do with that money first. And it makes it more reasonable for it to actually manifest in your life. You can't just randomly throw out there that you want a specific thing without a reasoning behind what you're going to do with it or why you even want it. Don't just want for the sake of wanting. That takes up space. Want things that fit in your life and have a purpose. The universe is more likely willing to allow that thing to come into your life. So let me take a moment to just say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe now to my channel. And I want you to like and share this video. I feel like I was kind of all over the place with what I was saying, but I really hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to explain to you, that you can live a fairy tale life. You're never too old to live a fairy tale life, but you have to live a fairy tale life that's relevant to who you are, the things that matter to you most, and what you want. You can be, do, and have anything you truly desire, but get out of the habit of desiring things that are not relevant to who you are, that don't matter to what you want for your life. That's how you get to live a fairy tale life. Yes, we're going to look at other people's lives. Yes, we're going to say, oh, I would like to do that. But then you come back and say, huh, do I really want to do that? Or do I only want to do that because I saw them doing that? Make sure it's relevant to who you are. Identify what you want. Write down the things that matter to you most, what's working, what's not working, and what you need to get rid of. And then start to manifest slowly the things you want in your life by putting it out there in very specific details. All right. So if you have any questions about anything that I said, leave me some comments below. Share with me some of the things that you want to manifest in your fairy tale life. I don't care how big it is, because we can hone it in. And even if it's like really, really way out there, it's okay if you envision something that seems impossible or seems like a fairy tale for you right now. We can hone it in and break it down to get you to the point of where you actually believe the thing you want. I didn't just wake up and say I'm going to go to Africa one day. It started with me saying I want to travel. So I started small. I started traveling places that were close by. And then I started driving to places. Then I actually, got a new car just so I could drive more places to start to travel. And then I wanted bigger. I wanted larger. I wanted places that I couldn't drive to. So I became a flight attendant. That was the next logical step for me. Traveling with my job, doing those things made me want even more. Oh, I don't want to just travel with my job. I want to just travel for fun. I want to go places that are on the other side of the world. And so I started doing that. My travel experiences got bigger. It all started with me just wanting to travel to another state. And I did that. It got bigger, bigger, and bigger. So you don't have to start really grand. You could start small and expand it, or you can start large and bring it down to a place that suits your life. There's no rules when you're manifesting your dream life, and you're never too old to live the fairy tale life that you envision. I'm Joanna M. Cameron. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with someone you feel finds it helpful. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.